Hi, Kia. Thanks for joining us. We're going to start with Jeff Metcalf from the Arizona Republic.
Hello.
Uh,
So how have things gone trying to kind of put that game from the other day behind and move forward when you have something that I guess goes that badly? How do you try to wash that away?
I mean, you take a day, rewatch the game, learn from your mistakes and practice, and then you forget about it. As an athlete, part of your job is to have a short-term memory in what's happening. And so when we had a game like that, which we knew was uncharacteristically, us, that's not what we are and who we are. So you kind of just have to learn from it and then move on. It's part of the game.
Have you seen, I'm sure you've seen a lot in your career, but have you seen situations where sometimes, you have a game that's just kind of a blowout, but it actually propels you forward in some ways?
Yeah, I mean, there's always an opportunity anytime you lose to win. With that being said, the more you lose, the more you just teach yourself to lose, and that's not how you want to play the game. But I do think having a game like that and just being able to say, look, this is what we did really wrong. Was it something that Minnesota did that was just so spectacular that it took us out of our game, or was it what we were doing to ourselves that took us out of our game? I think if you look back at that, it was more of the things that we didn't do that helped us lose that game. So things that are fixable, things that we can control moving forward. And obviously every game is a new opportunity to fix those little issues that we have had. And so you look at every game as a new opportunity. And the cool part about being in a league like the WNBA, where the schedule is so quick, is that you have new opportunities pretty much within, 2 or 3 days, unless you have a week off. So having that opportunity and having a game like that sometimes is good. You don't want to have it. But if it does happen, it does have the potential to propel you in a different direction.
And any game, any team after a game like that would get your attention, but when you're playing Las Vegas and then Seattle, even more so these upcoming 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime we step onto the court, it's just understanding our opponent, understanding tendencies, looking at, in shoot around, what are they going to run? What are tendencies we can take away? And so obviously we know that Las Vegas and Seattle are 2 very good teams, and they've obviously had a pretty good start to the season themselves. So taking it one day at a time, one game at a time, one practice at a time, and then figuring it out from there. And obviously this is a big game tonight. I think we match up pretty well against Vegas. So that kind of plays into our favor there. But obviously taking care of tendencies will be a big thing for us tonight.
Great, thanks from me.
Next up is Alex Simon with the Next.
Kia, it sounds like you guys got together a couple of times in these few off days. I know obviously Sandy mentioned that she hosted everybody for the 4th. Does it kind of feel like you guys have, in spite of some of the struggles that have happened in the last month, you guys have been able, it seems like you've been able to stay together as a group pretty well. Is that kind of how you feel too?
Yeah, I do think obviously this is a team that has really good chemistry off the court. And, being in a lot of different situations in my career, this isn't a team that has like fake chemistry. It's like just we get along really well and we enjoy each other, we enjoy each other's company. And so for that to help, have that off the court, it hopefully translates onto the court. And as we continue to get together and continue to grow on the court, that's a big part of it as well. I've obviously been in situations where there's losing seasons and you kind of feel that, and you feel that in the locker room and things get harder and more problems arise. And that's not what I feel here. I think there's an understanding that we've been in a lot of games where we should have pulled it out and we didn't, but those are things that are fixable that we can continue to do. And, there's just an overall feeling of we're going to be all right. And I think that's kind of the best way to approach every game and every practice, is that if we keep getting better little by little or big leaps here and there, then we'll have an opportunity to do something special, and there's a lot of season left.
And I guess it sounds like there was an advanced screening of a certain movie that a teammate may be starring in last night. Or a couple of nights ago. I was wondering any thoughts that you might have had on the movie, I guess, in general, but also your teammates' acting performances in particular.
Well, it was actually a very, very fun movie to watch. It was fantastic, and grateful that we had the opportunity to get an advanced screening. I feel like I'm ahead of the times now in the pop culture world. My movie star teammate was in the movie a lot more than I expected her to be, but she was fantastic. Her one-liners were very her. She was very organic in what she was doing. So I will give her, my own personal Oscar for her performance. But It was a really great movie. I'm excited for everyone, not just basketball fans, to see it because it was really fun.
And then just one last one for me. Where kind of, you're in this last week of the first half of the WNBA season. I know you're flying off to Tokyo pretty quick as soon as you get done Sunday. Where do you kind of feel like you're at with your game at this point in time?
It's not necessarily where I want it to be. I think, I'm my own worst critic, and sometimes that's tough to get out of your own head and what's happening. Obviously, I think cutting myself a little bit of slack would be helpful. Nowadays, I'm still trying to figure out, obviously where tendencies come from, roles on the team, and, we're still pretty new and fairly new in terms of having game experience together. I'm not necessarily worried about my shot. They've felt good. So just continuing to find ways to either get it a little bit higher over the rim or have a little bit of a higher release point. But not, the happiest with where it is, but not overly concerned about it either, because I know I haven't played my best basketball yet. And I still am able to play on an incredible team. My teammates believe in me. I believe in everything that they do as well. So just continuing to grow each and every day and knowing that if I can do what I need to on the defensive end to help, if it's a defensive stop that we need, or if I'm guarding one of the top players on, the guard side, doing my job there. And then everything else will start to fall into place as is. But I give myself a C right now.
Fair enough. Thank you.
No worries.
Thanks for the time, Kia.